Okay.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Let's take out thumbnail real quick.
All right, thumbnail.
Gotta hold it a few seconds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Hey guys, what's going on? So the topic we want to talk about today is what to bring into the table. Oh, that's cool. I like that. What to bring into the table.
To the table.
Okay, what we bring to the table in a relationship. Mm-hmm. What do each individual and a couple bring to the table in a relationship?
Just had that piece of chocolate.
Mm-hmm. It is so
You
awesome.
need water?
Oh no, I see you guys. What's going on? Welcome. I see you guys. Come on in. The water's fine. Uh-huh. Guys, if you're in a relationship, this one's definitely for you, right? All right, because so many people have issues about what should be brought to a relationship, right?
Just talk with
You
us.
know?
What happened with us?
Yeah, okay. Like when you come into a relationship, you have this preconceived idea of what should be involved in a relationship. I know I did, and I know that you did, and I don't think it was 100% conscious of those views. I don't think those views were 100% conscious. I
Well,
think.
we were young.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
very young.
Yeah. So
But if we had it to do over, and now that we're in our 40s,
yeah.
I think we would be more meticulous.
Yeah, probably, and I believe
You
that's
know.
what gets people in trouble.
Yeah.
Like if you're conscious of it, I think being conscious of it would be like having a checklist.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some people have a checklist of the things that they want from a person in a relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
how about this?
Okay.
What was your, because what we're trying to do, guys,
Uh-huh.
this is for our live.
Yeah.
We are actually taping this live, but it's also shout out to all the people who are watching this in the replay. Okay?
Yeah. You guys are so awesome.
We're going to have a little fun situation. Um,
Hey guys, I see you guys coming through.
what was your checklist then at 25?
Wow, my checklist.
Versus what would be your checklist now at 45?
Oh wow.
Okay.
Wow.
And we
That
can
is
bounce back.
that
You
is-
can say one, I can say one, just so it can be
Okay.
even.
Well, that'd be interesting. Okay, my checklist at 25. Wow.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, when I
take
first
that
got
back?
into a relationship, I don't think I was.
We all
Two-
have checklists.
Okay.
We all have something we're looking for.
Okay. I wanted to see if someone had, like, this is old school home training. You guys know what I'm talking about. Like home training, like you want to see that some people have like basic things. Like, do you know how to take care of yourself? You know, you clean. Do you have manners? Do you know, like, do you say yes, ma'am, yes, sir? You know, those basic things. You know, I was looking for, and some of it was subconscious. When I got older, I started to be a little more conscious about what I was looking for. But, and I, you know, I don't want to speak for everybody, but I feel like a lot of people go through that. Like they just kind of like just go out there, and I don't think they get the conscious part of, hey, I want this, and this until later on. Usually after you've been beat up and banged up and you've been out there for a little bit. What do you guys think? But as far as myself, when I first went out there, I was just, you know, I wanted somebody to relate to, and that's kind of like instinctive, right? Mm-hmm. So it wasn't a conscious thing. So if I could relate to you, like, you know, have a good conversation, you know, we fill each other out. It was good. This is what people call vibing, you know. So if I got that vibe, then we were all good. Yeah. And later on, you know, and values were included in the vibe too, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just me. Then later on, I started having a checklist.
So you don't confuse things.
Mm-hmm.
This what is the one thing? Just say one thing. It's a vibe. Because you said a lot.
I said a lot.
So just say
yeah.
one thing.
Okay, when I first started, you talking about my 20s though. When I first started though, I just wanted to vibe. If we could get along, then we were all good.
Okay, so that's at
that was in
20s.
Teenage.
Now in 40s, what is it?
Oh, okay.
Well, now, we're married, but I'm just saying, like, if you had to tell your younger self, how can you vibe with someone you don't know?
Okay, see,
like that's where people make mistakes, in my opinion. Because everyone that you necessarily vibe with is not someone that's good for life partner.
Yes.
And then what level is the vibe? Is it just a physical vibe? Is it a mental vibe? Is it a spiritual vibe? Because a physical vibe is you can kind of get that in 5 minutes, but mental vibe, that could take 5 years.
Yeah,
that's why I
said,
what's the difference between the 20s versus now?
To me, at one time in my life, it was both, like the physical and the mental. And sometimes the lines can be like merged, right? Like, how can I say it? Like the physical attraction or the physical vibe, as well as being able to communicate with somebody, was both. Like, I used to like somebody who was intelligent. You know, I like
you're
people.
You're saying a lot. Let's just break it down. So you said, okay.
Yeah.
In my opinion, you cannot have physical and mental vibe at the same time.
See, I actually like it when people can like enunciate, and people who actually could say different words. You know, so I actually like intellect.
How many people was intellectual? Honey, that's not true.
That's not true?
Don't let this video...
That's not true? You're
so
right.
all of your girlfriends were intellectuals?
No, but we're talking about...
I met one of your exes. I did. Actually, one, and then I kind of knew of one, and they were both kind of... Well, one read the comics, but that's reading.
That wasn't mine.
And one looks like she was very artsy, so I can see that.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And I also look for like values, you know, a lot of times it was superficial, like the way you dress. You know, I didn't want a certain type of dress, but that's part of values, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then it was also other internal things, like, how can I say it? Like I said earlier, manners. Do you say yes, ma'am, yes, sir? Do you just have ethics about you? I'm speaking in generalities, guys.
You're saying a lot.
Yeah.
All of these things you're saying are important, but they're probably like, what are you talking about? Like, you say ethics. And then you said values, and people would think that's the same.
Oh, yeah. Well, your values...
You have to have values to have ethics.
Yes, I want to be more specific.
But honey, you're not,
you said, good values,
You're not picking that up after one date.
No, you're not,
Okay?
You got to fill them out.
This is the thing that a lot of people today... now that we have podcasts, we have YouTube, we have Facebook, we have Live, we have all of these things to get other people's, thoughts on different things. Back when we were dating, it was levels to this back in the day. You were dating or courting, and then you got serious, and then the seriousness grew into hopefully an engagement, and then marriage. That was the that's how we came up, in our dating. Today it's not like that, because you have a lot of people who are in your ear. No one was in our ear. It
No.
literally, the only person that was in my ear really was my prayers, and I didn't even allow my friends that I thought were friends then at that stage get in my head. I don't know, he didn't have a lot of homeboys. I mean, we were just, first of all,
Yeah.
we're only children.
Ah.
So we knew how to self-contain and entertain.
Yes. I think that's important. I think only children are a little different.
I feel for people
Yeah.
today who has this that's constantly in their ear and their psyche, because depending on the people who are
yeah.
delivering the message,
That's powerful.
you know, you just don't know where they're coming from. And what we promote on our facility here is we promote union,
Yes. Definitely.
unifiedness. And we support that, and we do that. We kind of portray that by what kind of content we make. So we kind of are trying to like see how this works and see how you guys digest this. But yeah, our dating was different. We didn't have a lot of outside people. My
Social media.
as far as me and what I was looking for in a man, I was looking for someone like my I guess my parents, my father and my grandfather, because those were my two dads. I had two fathers kind of like raising me. And so my father is comedic, so I love a person who can make me laugh. And then I loved a person who was a business guy and serious. And I kind of got that in him, but he's more, when we were younger, he was more serious. And things like that, and I kind of fell for that. I fell for the fact that he wore khakis. He was professional. He wasn't a homeboy. I never was attracted to that because I didn't grow around that. I grew around men who wore suits and wore ties, and I just generally just went towards that. And so, to anyone who's listening or watching us today, if you're attracted to the D-boys, as they call it, who were the people you grew around? Because usually a lot of what we are looking for, it comes from how we were raised. So me myself, I needed someone who could have a job, who can have a conversation, who was not off the wall, if you will. This man I've never heard him really cuss. He doesn't cuss. He doesn't use the B word. That's not a part of his psyche or his vocabulary. And that is probably my 21-year-old self kind of fell for that, because that's kind of what I could mesh with. Because at the time, my attitude was real, like, I was laid back, but if you came at me wrong, I'm going to let you have it. I mean, I just heard, we just got off of a special, we kind of study other couples who do this, and one of them is Lucy and Desi.
Yeah.
And somebody said about Lucy, and said her charm, her anger was just as big as her charm.
Her feistiness.
Her feistiness, was just as big as her charm. And I kind of identified with that. But over the years, I've had to calm that down. And, like, basically, we were kind of polar opposites when we first met. So I was more of a spitfire. I was more aggressive. He'll say he's aggressive, too. But my aggression is different. And he was more of a laid-back kind of guy where you really couldn't read where he was at mentally. Guys, do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
It's not like that anymore. Because as you're with someone long enough, you kind of know where they're coming from mentally, spiritually, physically.
Yeah, because you just know them.
I can look at his face. I can look at how he talks. I can look at the words he uses. I can kind of know what he's going to say before he says it. I'm not going to say he knows how to do that with me.
Sometimes.
Because I'm different, but...
you are different. You are. But I do know there's sometimes that I can actually figure out or finish what you say. I can actually feel when you're on to something, and you guys, when you follow us, you'll see it. Like, sometimes I'll do it. We're trying to work on that because she likes to have her thought, kind of finished, But I actually know it. I do. I can tell when you're on a train of thought sometimes. Yeah.
A lot of women today, they are dealing with, is the sound too much for you?
Oh, no. It's
okay.
Nice.
They don't know who to choose, even though they say the man choose, but then you have to be, as a woman, you have to be someone a man would choose. But they don't like my grandmother would say, who do these women have to marry, and who does the men have to marry? Like, what is the stock out there today? Because it's all over the place.
Yeah, that's something. That's something that we will remember. Your grandmother actually saying, who will our young women
And I thought
marry?
she was talking a little off
And
the wall. I didn't
who will our
understand what
young
she was saying, because I
men
was
marry?
like, one thing that the world does not lack is men and women. What are you
Right,
talking about?
exactly.
But she was talking about more like
right.
values, I guess, and ethics.
Yeah. Yes, that's exactly what she was talking about. And those things are like passed down from generation to generation. Right? So, your grandparents' values are different from your parents' values. And your children's values are different from their parents.
See, I saw two things in my life. I saw good marriages. Oops, sorry, y'all.
Yeah.
I saw a good marriage. I
Uh-huh.
saw not a so good marriage, and I saw young folks married, and I saw older folks, because I was with my parents for a certain amount of time. Then that that season was done, and then I went to live with my grandparents, and so
And their
I saw
marriages
how
were
they,
different.
Yeah,
Yeah, and so you saw the contrast, right?
yeah.
It reminds me of this book called, it's not quite the same, but it's this book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and he compared his rich dad to his poor dad, and their differences in their ideals, their state of minds. Yeah, and so you are comparing your grandparents' ideals to your parents' ideals.
Yeah. Yeah, and I got to see both. I got to see a little co-parenting.
Yes,
I got to see the single life, the single parenting life. I got to see quite a bit in just the first 13 years of my life. I kind of saw all of that. And it kind of molded me, I guess, indirectly, or what they would call subconsciously, to just seek a relationship of a dynamic of two parents in the household. Man and woman in the household, raising the family, because the thing about it is, the values that your children have, the parents kind of have to set those values. The parents have no values, the children won't.
Exactly. The parents are like the king and the queen of the house. They set the rules.
Yeah.
Right? And
And this is another thing, guys, that children now, not to cut you off, got social media. Social media is awesome, right? But it's also comes with a lot of responsibility, where you guys have to be more aware of what your children are digesting on these platforms. It's a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's something
right.
we didn't have when we were younger. We literally had TV. The TV signed off at 12. We had 4 channels.
4 channels.
2, 11, 13, and 54.
Yes. Oh, you remember. You remember. Oh, we going way back.
Oh, and 45.
And 45, yes.
That's it.
Maybe channel 22. That was cool.
PBS.
And 20. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Oh, and there may be some channel 5s back in the day, too. But those weren't major. But yeah, so back in the day, we had television. Right. You guys know.
Those
then we
were the
had.
days.
Oh my goodness, yes they
Those were the days.
Then we had radio. Right.
Yeah, radio, yeah.
And that was it.
That was it.
Television and radio. Now they have television, radio, and hundreds of social media platforms.
Yes. Yes. And our music was different.
Yes.
You have to understand, let's talk about that. Okay, so the subject is, what do we bring to the table? Well, we're bringing our own. When you get in a relationship, you're bringing you're
bringing your parents to the relationship.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
We were watching this movie, and we think it's so funny. It's actually called Meet the Parents. Okay, it's with Ben Stiller and Robert De Niro. It's a very funny movie.
Excellent movie, guys. It's
and
funny.
we identify with the movie because my family were like the Burns.
Jack Burns. And, oh my goodness.
But nobody, and nobody's family is like the Fockers. You're like I
No,
think you're Greg.
No,
I really do.
She really thinks I'm Greg. Like,
Yeah,
cause when I go in, things could go left.
Yes.
I'm all in.
That's a nice, cool movie to watch if you haven't. It's old, but yeah, you do. Like when you get into a relationship, one thing you do is you bring your parents with you. You bring whomever took the time to raise you with you, whether it was your aunt, your parents, or whomever. You bring your childhood baggage into the relationship, whether you realize that or not.
Or not, yeah. That's real. I'm going way back. For any history buffs, there used to be something called a family crest or family coat of arms. I don't know if you guys have heard of that, but yeah, people used to represent their family. You know, like I am son of Odin. You know, that type of thing. You know, you used to represent your family. That's a long time ago. But you still represent your family to this day.
Yeah, whether they're here or not, you represent, and
whether you know it or not.
Yeah, whether you know it or not, you do. You can kind of look at a woman, or you can kind of look at her and see how she acts and tell that she didn't have a father in her life. You can look at a man and tell that he was raised by a single mom, or he didn't have his dad in his life. You can kind of tell what someone's parents did by the type of job that you may be doing. Or some people actually do the opposite. Like they make sure they're not anything like their parents, especially if it's a struggle. You know, like I've heard Oprah say that she saw her grandmother struggle, or her mom was on food stamps, and she made a vow to herself that she didn't want to be that way. And I feel like that was her motive to be who she is today, because she saw the struggle. And some people do just the same. They say, well, my mama did it. She worked. She had 5 kids. She made it. I'm fine. And they actually go and do the same thing. And so where do you fit into that? Yes,
guys. Do you emulate your parents, or do you try to improve upon or change what they did?
Yeah. And so a lot of us, when we parent, we try to give our children what we didn't have, right? But forget to give them what we did have. And one thing, the older the generations, the older people usually get, the more discipline they had as children. This new age of children, they don't have good discipline. And discipline does not necessarily mean physical discipline. I think a lot of people feel discipline is negative. No, when you love someone, you discipline them. God disciplines us as his children. So if you don't discipline your children, ultimately you don't love them. So if you see them doing something incorrect, no matter whether it's a physical incorrect, a spiritual or mental incorrect, you're supposed to say, hey son, that's not how you're supposed to do it. Or hey daughter, that's not how we're not going to do that.
And set them to the right path.
It's not, oh, they're grown, oh, they're, they're able to make their own decisions. No, like ultimately, you don't get to really know what decisions are great for you until you're way into your 30s and 40s, until you've lived. That's what parents are here for.
That's what parents are for.
You guys have lived already. Parents,
Yeah.
We've lived. We've been there. We've been 15.
Exactly.
We've been 20. You get what I'm saying? Now let's talk.
It's the parents' job to help steer them so that they don't stumble where you stumble.
Yeah.
It is their responsibility to do that. Or else they're just raising themselves.
Yeah, like being a single parent is tough.
It's tough. Why would you do that to your children?
Right.
If you know being a single parent is tough, why would you promote that to your children?
It doesn't matter how good you thought that you did. It doesn't matter how things turned out. It just knows that it was a struggle. So why would you encourage your child to do that? You know what I mean? Now, one thing I had that kept me out of trouble is I was in, like, activities.
Oh, you had activities?
I had plenty of activities to do.
Yeah.
Whether it was in school or my grandparents told me, okay, you're going to play an instrument. They didn't ask me, do I want to play an instrument? They told me I was going to play an instrument.
Yeah.
I was in the choir as well. I was very, very, very well trained in that situation as far as always being busy, because an idle mind is a devil's paradise. And so that's what happens. It's important. What do you bring to the table? You want to bring more, like a man should be able to bring more to the table than some money. Like, it's this old song. It's from D'Angelo.
Okay.
It was a song. D'Angelo and Raphael Sadiq.
Raphael Sadiq.
Okay.
Raphael.
And it was a song. He said, I'm more than just some good black and some money.
Yeah. Guys, do you appreciate the values?
It's true.
Yeah, exactly.
It's true. I mean,
so much more.
I picked up on that.
Yeah.
And that's a good song. D'Angelo.
Yeah.
Nobody knows who he is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But the thing about it is, guys, what were you saying?
Oh, I was going to say, guys, do you, as adults, appreciate the values
Hi,
that
Miss Elaine. Oh, we have to call people's names out to let them know that this is actually
live
going on.
Yeah.
Otherwise, because we're really good at pre-recording.
We are! Guys, you should follow us on all our social media, and watch all of our pre-recorded stuff there. But yeah, do you guys, as adults, appreciate, the strictness or those strict values that were given to you?
Don't say strict.
Don't say strict. Okay.
They were just
the discipline
they're discipline.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with saying you're disciplined.
Because I know when you were younger, you didn't appreciate it, But as an adult, I can appreciate it.
Looking back, a child is not supposed to know what's going on. You're just going to do it. I am very thankful that my parents put me into giving me structure, because now at 40, I'm the same way. I'm
giving you structure. That's the word I was looking for. Hey, what's going on, Miss Scott? I see you. Yeah. Do you appreciate the structure that your parents gave you?
Yeah, okay, that's one thing about us in our relationship. We've literally, our marriage has been so structured. I think being structured is what has helped us to stay together all of this time.
And structure is another word for order too, and maybe discipline.
We are very disciplined, ordered people.
Yeah.
We are busy. We've always worked together. In some form, we've worked together. We've had our own business together. We've also worked at other jobs together. We've always worked together. Has it been easy? No. But one thing I brought to the table is my parents worked together. So it was not foreign for me to work with my husband, because I saw my grandparents work together in their business. I was kind of groomed in that situation. No, they didn't do the same thing. No, there wasn't the same title, but they both worked together. And so today we were having a powwow.
What's going on, Miss Antoinette?
Hello. We had a powwow, and we said, you know what? If we want to go ahead and we want to start making videos together, one thing, I am not paying attention to any low numbers right now, because I know, guys, you probably out and about and things like that, and the replay is always where it's at, because you guys can go ahead and watch this at your own leisure, at work, while you're eliminating and things like that. I know a lot of people like to have their cell phones in the throne room. You know what I mean. And you guys could watch this while you're doing whatever. Just put us on the Tizoob and watch. And that's why we value these type of videos, okay? But one thing about my husband and I, we work together, is we learned how to stay together.
Yes. So important, guys. For better or for worse, rich or for poor, sickness and in health, till death do you part.
So we had a powwow, and we said, you know what, let's call out some other couples that has done it.
Wow.
And we don't know what type of situation they're in and what their values are, but it's couples out here who does it. Who? Desi, you said,
and Lucille,
and all the marriages didn't necessarily work out, but they did.
But they did it. They did it. Everybody has their own struggles. Yeah. right, Desi, Lucy, okay.
Ashford and Simpson.
Ashford and Simpson. Okay. What's another one? What's another one?
Sonny and Cher.
Sonny and Cher. I said Sonny and Cher earlier. Yeah, Sonny and Cher. Oh gosh.
Tammy Terrell and Marvin Gaye.
Oh, they weren't
married. That was their best music.
Yes, it was.
They weren't married, but they were.
Rick James and
Tina Marie.
They weren't married, but you know.
But their best music was together.
Yes, exactly.
And so you just have to we brought that to the table where we just kind of know how to work. Just know how to work in a team effort. We kind of brought that together. I don't know how you learned that. How did you learn to work together when you didn't come from that type of? Oh, yeah, maybe you did. I don't know. So kind of like teach me. How did you learn how to work with somebody? Because some people don't know how to share.
Oh, I don't know. I like to share. Some things. I like to share.
What do you mean you like to share?
Some things, like if I'm thirsty, if I have a cup of water, I will give you a cup of water.
Oh, okay.
If I have some food, I will give you, I give you some of my steak, Thank you. All right.
Didn't think you would be saying that.
Oh, okay. If I have some turkey chops, I will give.
Well, no, I'm not talking about that. But I was like,
fine.
I'm saying, how did you know how to work with your wife? Like, how did you? Because I grew up around that, but how did you know to work with your spouse?
Well, I think the situation I was put in, I was given a role to help the household.
You see how this looks?
Yes.
Let's get into real life real quick.
Yeah.
This is awesome for replay.
Yes, it is.
We bounce off of each other. We're having a conversation.
Yes.
It doesn't matter how many people in here, because eventually they're gonna watch it and we won't be here.
Yes, exactly.
And you see, our nerves are not as big versus when we're on camera.
No,
by ourselves. It's totally different. It's like
Yeah.
having a support blanket here.
Yeah, and we had so much fun. Back in the day, we used to make food videos, and you can still watch them on YouTube and someone here. We had so much fun. Yeah, I like this. I like it when we make videos together.
This is why I want to do this. I'm comfortable. Okay. I'm not worried about who's there.
Yes.
I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
And it's better, and I want you to get more comfortable because you're awesome, and we have a lot to say. We have too much in our bosoms to keep it in our bosom.
Yes.
We have to get this out because a lot of people don't know the dynamic of working together. Much less, marriage, having children.
Oh, yes.
Working beyond necessarily not being comfortable because they feel like maybe relationships are supposed to be comfortable.
Oh.
Do you?
That's important.
That's another thing.
Yeah, relationships are not comfortable, guys. Not all the time.
You know what? Another thing you have to bring to the table, guys? The art of suffrage. You have to know how to suffer. And I say that to not scare people, because people feel like if I'm married, I shouldn't have to suffer. Oh no. I have had to witness my husband lose his job. I've had to witness him lose his dad. I've had to witness him not be well. I've had to witness him lose just family in general. That's what I mean by suffer. Because when you really love someone, one thing you don't want to see them is in pain. And some people will leave during that time of someone suffering. When you are together, you take on each other's suffering, and he's done the same thing. He's seen me lose quite a few people.
I have.
I've seen.
Yes.
I've lost a little more than him, only because my family might be a little bit bigger. I don't know. I can laugh about it. But, I mean, the thing about it is, I didn't have to go through that alone. But now, did he suffer? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to let you know. Was it easy?
No, it wasn't.
Was it easy with my reactions?
Oh, my goodness. Her reactions. You know, when you're going through hardships, tough times, you're not going to be like this, you know. You're going to be like, you know, there's going to be some ups and there's going to be some downs emotionally. And, you know, that's part of it, you know. It's part of it.
It's a part of it. And you have, you know, just like we're able to show up to work, you have to show up for that episode of your spouse or partner, whatever, guys, whoever. This is not just for people who are married.
Whoever
this
you guys
is,
are.
You know?
It's not for just married people.
You have to show up for that tough time for them. And it could be a season. A season is 3 months.
It could
now,
be
if it's over a season, then you have to be that spouse to say, I know you down, but when the heck are you going to get up?
Exactly. Yes.
Because my husband had to say, okay.
Okay.
What
All right.
Are we just going to sit here and just gloat?
Just marinate in this? No, we you know.
Okay.
It's got to be some triumph here. You know, it's got to be some champion in this story. You know, there's got to be.
He talks me through. I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
Now, replayers, you don't care because you're just getting all of it, right? But he talks me through just this time in which things might be a little bit low. He gets me through my low times. Now, low times are low times. I'm a teetotaler. So I don't when we go through something, we don't have outside forces to try to cope with things. We're not coping. We don't have. What is our coping mechanism?
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's another thing. What do you bring to the table does not necessarily just mean in a good thing. It can mean bad. What bad things are you bringing to the table? And one thing that a lot of people bring to the relationship table are their coping mechanisms.
Oh, snap. That is something.
Hello.
Yeah. Their coping mechanism.
Yes. And what is a coping mechanism?
What do you guys go
something
to?
Negative.
It's usually,
We cannot call out all of the coping mechanisms.
No, but you guys know
call out
what
any
they
of
are.
Them, to be honest.
No.
Because you already know. And we don't do any of that.
No.
We've never done that. He went through an episode when he, would try to cope
her tea,
and things like that. We've been there before. I've been a diabetic all my life, so I always said, look, I can't smoke, I can't drink, I can't do none of that. It'll harm my diabetes. So my diabetes have always said my diabetes saved my life.
Yeah, because a lot of people go to food, as a coping mechanism.
I don't go to food.
You guys know the foods and stuff you go to. All the snack comfort foods.
My goodness, if I didn't eat that, I would die. All of those people who I love, they're gone. And if every time I lost somebody, I went to my coping mechanism.
Oh.
So my coping mechanism is, and it's not my husband either, because he can't handle me. He can't handle my pain. My husband, no. I'm being real.
He just make it seem like
you can't handle me.
He just make it seem like it's like this, and I'm just trying to contain the pain.
He can't handle
it. It's like
when we were younger, I used to say this, and I probably at that time I meant it. I said, you know what? I don't really depend on you. I said, you're human. You have to understand. I was a person. What I brought to the table, and I remember my grandmother said to him, she said, "Whoosh, you ready for her?" I gotta send it.
She did. I remember.
She didn't say it in front of me, but he did he relayed it.
Yeah.
And I was like, why would she say that? I'm like, she was absolutely right. She was absolutely right in asking him that and preparing, because I had so many things that were in me. I had lost my mom. who cares, right? That's how I always say, who cares? That's your mother. That's no one else's mother. But it is what it is. I mean, that's what happened. And so when he met me, that was one thing I said to him, that I did lose my mother, but I had awesome grandparents. I mean,
Yes.
I would just, really, to be
Yes.
honest, I didn't even feel the loss of my mother because my grandparents came swooping in.
Yes, they did.
Like the great people that they were, and now they graduated to spiritual. And I talk to them all. I talk about them all the time because I count all the great things that I portray in my life right now, of course with God's help, because God placed them in my life. Which I thought, I mean, you have to understand, growing up with people who were 70 years old, and I was like 15.
That's such a blessing.
I thought they were going to die every day.
Oh no.
They were old. I mean, can you imagine
no.
the anxiety that I had every day? I'm like, are these people going to make it when I graduate? Are they going to be able to see me graduate from high school?
No.
Well, they saw me graduate from high school.
Yes,
they saw me graduate from my CNA.
Yes, they did.
They saw me graduate from hair school.
Yes, they
so
did.
they saw it.
Yeah, they saw it. They saw a lot of major moments.
They saw a lot of major moments.
Yeah.
It's like, to be honest, I was just a blessing. I was as much of a blessing to them as they were to me, because they didn't age at all really when I was there. As soon as I got married, they aged. So they was like, you were our reason for being like young.
Young, yeah.
I gave them more life in Jesus' name. I did, because they had to be, always on the edge.
Yeah.
Oh, I was a teen.
To deal with a teenager. Yeah.
And it was like I saw them just kind of get younger with me, because they had to, like, they say that I was like their second generation child. It was like,
you were.
My grandmother say, I don't want to be a mother again.
Yes.
Like, I used to feel bad when she said that. Thank you. Happy day to you too, guys. I don't mark my videos, but yeah, happy day to all the great women out there. Guys. Thank you so much.
Awesome, yeah.
But what was I saying?
Yeah, she was a mother.
Yeah. And so I brought all of that baggage, man. I brought all that baggage of the loss and of me also living with my grandparents. They were very, they were not strict.
No.
Because they allowed me to date. In fact, my grandmother used to say, have several friends. And that I did.
They gave you a little structure.
Friends.
Yeah.
Not people. Look, my grandfather basically was saying, you gotta be specific.
You gotta be specific with people. Like what are you
look,
talking about here?
We're not running a harem.
Yeah, he would actually say that. We are not running a harem here.
That's what so you gotta be specific. Nowadays, friends mean friends with benefits.
Oh, yeah.
People have babies with their friends.
No, to actually get to know someone, that type of thing. Yeah.
But yeah, they weren't strict. I dated and
I liked some of the values that I saw. Oh, I was looking.
Yeah.
I was looking.
I saw the values in you too.
You did?
I guess. No, I didn't.
You didn't. No.
I wasn't looking for that. I was just looking for someone who could pick up where my grandparents left off, which is supporting this girl. That's really, to be honest, I mean, that's really what women are looking for. I think I was trying to say that before. Men are looking for a woman who can bear their children, who can raise their children. And a woman is really looking for someone who can pick up where their parents left off.
Wow, that is so powerful.
Am I right or wrong?
I think there's some definite truth to that. That's perspective. Yeah, and so if I'm looking for someone that would be a good person to raise my children, what am I looking for? I'm looking for a woman who has good ethics, good manners, good values.
Ethics.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
going on?
I don't know. That's the word of the day.
I'm going to tell you why. Yeah. Because his mom acts like she's a nun.
Oh, yeah.
He has the type of mother. I'm going to say this. He has the type of mother that, to be honest, I'm surprised she has a son, because I just feel like she's just this prim, proper woman who's just never did anything. That's just how she carries herself. She doesn't care. She's not a fast person. She's not like that. She's very heavily into the Lord. And I think that's what led him to want ethics, because that's what he was raised around. Now, if he was raised around a woman who had friends all the time, and you saw different dudes inside, the home all the time, and
none of that.
Different boyfriends. I mean,
None
can you imagine what type of fella you would have grown into if you saw your mom constantly in someone's face and dressing provocatively? And could you imagine what type of guy you would have been?
Yeah, I would have been totally different. I probably wouldn't have respect for women.
Remember that line from Best Man when Terrence Howard said,
"Oh,
my relationship with my mother don't have nothing to do with how I treat these girls out here."
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah,
the
has everything to
movies.
do. Yes, they tell the truth.
They were basically saying the reason why he was like that was because of the lack of respect for his mother.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
yeah, that could actually.
So he trying to, he kind of like I'm assuming that he might have partied with girls who were out there, partied hardy and things like that. But to settle down with, and you have to understand. Yeah. Okay, us women, I was raised to always be a woman of class, sit with her legs crossed at the ankles, go to church, don't use certain language, don't put your elbows on the table. Hello, that's why I don't have black elbows. Hello.
Yeah.
And my knees ain't black either. Hello. Yeah. Because I don't lean on them. Now, you can lean on them for Christ. Okay, it is what it is, but put a pillow under them things, okay? Because, oh my gosh, 2 weeks ago, I said, what the Holy Spirit told me. Okay, I know you always pray on your feet, but get down on your knees. I said, okay, oh my gosh. Honey, I could hardly get down there. But I'm going to tell you, when I prayed on my knees, what I needed to have happen quick, it did.
Yeah.
Praying on your knees is different. But yeah, they would taught me, don't lean on your elbows. Because I used to lean on my elbows and eat. And my grandma would say, take your elbows off that table. Not and all that. And I would say, you don't want no black elbows. And I just saw black elbows a few days ago. They look disgusting, ladies. Black elbows look disgusting.
Yeah.
So
no
stop
elbows
leaning
on the table.
on your elbows.
Yeah. Some things you do have to just get down and by the bedside or wherever you are and pray. Yeah.
And pray.
Yeah.
And stop praying, ladies. This is one thing we do incorrectly. It's going to be a part 2 to this, guys, because I want to get a little bit more people in here.
Guys.
So make sure you thumbs up the video, hit those heart buttons. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to do a part 2 if the husband allows us to.
Yeah, that would be awesome, guys. Are you guys with us?